I think that the most important thing after surgery isn't necessarily the surgery you chose or the diet progression you need to follow, but you need coping mechanisms. It's hugely important. I tell my patient, if you see me in the office, I've told you this, you need a better out. You need something to deal with stress. Food, we all use food for various reasons. Happy, sad, weddings, funerals, you name it, food revolves around it. It's a very tough thing. When I take that away from you, people struggle. And so I think when you're looking at surgery, leading up to surgery, you need those coping mechanisms in place before surgery, okay? Because to do it afterwards, you're stressed about surgery, you're stressed about your diet. I've taken your coping mechanism, your drug away from you. It's very hard to think clearly and come up with a new idea about how to, relieve stress. I mean, read a book, exercise, get a punching bag to beat something up. I mean, there are a ton of different things you can do as a good outlet for yourself, but I think those things need to be in place before you even walk into the operating room that day, because you're really going to rely on it later on. The diet's going to be secondary. I mean, that's what we preach diet, for weight loss, and it's true, and we will keep you on track with your diet, but you got to have a better coping mechanism. The second thing is you've got to get into the habit of tracking what you're consuming, okay? And I see this all the time, and if you're one of my patients, I've said it to you, is one of the most important lifestyle changes you can make is to track your food and know what you're putting in your body, okay? And there's no possible way, unless you have a photographic memory, to know exactly what you consumed even 3 days ago, okay? So when I say track it, I mean write it down. Get an app in your phone, keep a little old school notebook, write down what you're consuming on a regular basis. Because if you're not losing the weight you want to, or you put some weight back on and you come into the office, the first thing I'm gonna ask you is, what are we eating? How many calories are you consuming a day? How many carbs? How many proteins? Where are you in this, in this diet? And that way we can take a look and try to figure out where we're going wrong and how we can make things better. If you don't track it, you're never gonna have an accurate idea about what you're consuming. Doing it early on, everybody does, because we kind of force you to, but a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, that's when people stop doing it. And that's when we see people start gaining weight back, is because they're not keeping track of it anymore. They're not really paying attention, and it creeps up on them. I mean, just like anything else, doing something like tracking your calories sounds like a pain in the butt to do, but if you do it all the time, it just becomes part of your regular routine in life. And that's the type of lifestyle changes that I always tell patients is make that one of your priorities, to know what you're consuming. Because if you don't, then it's very difficult to figure out where we went wrong or what's going on.